not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey everybody, we are back, and hello. We are doing this episode, which is going to be episode 25, because I started miscounting the episodes and had 2 different days worth labeled as episode 22. Screwed the whole thing up. So this should be episode 25, and it's Wednesday, the 18th of September. And the title of this episode is going to be Stop Being Okay. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one is today was not a good day for me at all. It was one of the downs of these ups and downs. And it started early. It started on my way to work with just not feeling right. And then having pressure in my chest. And just having a general discomfort, and the skin on my face feeling tight, which I know is a weird way of describing it, but you've probably felt that at some point in your life. And then the arrhythmia kicked in after a while I was at work, and came and went for a good portion of the day, and that causes you to feel like you can't catch your breath. You don't stop breathing, and it doesn't feel like you can't breathe. It feels like you are not breathing enough, or that you're not able to properly fill your lungs with air. That's how it makes me feel anyway. So it was that was the kind of day I had. So I kept moving. I did a lot of walking today, and it was still light duty stuff, but I did do a lot of walking, and I did that intentionally because I wanted to keep moving. I figured standing still probably wasn't going to do much for helping my heart rate or rhythm, so I wanted to keep it pumping. So I did that, and I made it through the day. But when this all started, the doctor, who initially thought I didn't have a heart attack and then decided I did have a heart attack after looking at the blood test results where it was obvious, was talking to me about, hey, how are you feeling? And, stuff like that. And he said that it's a problem with people of my generation. I'm Generation X. He said it's a problem with people of my generation with admitting that we're not okay. And I think that's true. I really do. And I think that's part of the reason why we criticize millennials and, Gen Z and whatever other weird names they're coming up with today, but as being whiners and weak and, basically a bunch of sissies. And although that may be true, it's also true that in some way, I'm kidding about I'm sure it is true about a good portion of these other generations. Just like Gen X was considerably weaker and not as tough as our predecessors, the baby boomers. And boomers were not nearly as tough as their parents' generation. The greatest generation that fought 2 world wars and, went on with life after that, and then built a nation and an economy that couldn't be matched. But anyway, I'm digressing. So it is a generational thing, but he mentioned how it happens to be a symptom of my generation, that we tend to just, shrug our shoulders and say, yeah, I'm okay, and keep going. And that's really kind of true. And so I kind of made a deal with myself and with my family, with my wife in particular, that when I'm not okay, I'm going to say I'm not okay. I'm not going to lie about how I'm feeling. I'm not going to mislead anybody and, put on a happy face and rah, hey, no, I'm great, when I'm not. Because I need to monitor my condition, and my family and anybody else who's with me also is going to wind up needing to monitor my condition. And if they see me, expressing any symptoms that don't make sense to them, they're going to need to say, hey, how are you? What's going on right now? Because something weird is happening. And I have to learn to address that for myself and for others and go, wait a minute, I'm not good right now. Something is happening. And because that was something that I neglected to do when I was having the heart attacks. And trying to write it off as anything other than what it could have been, and instead of immediately going, oh shit, I need to go to the hospital right now, just kind of going, let's wait and see if it'll pass. And, let's wait and see. That was okay. We'll wait until I have the next one. And, things like that. And I know that, my dad in their generation, he was worse than me. He didn't want to go see a doctor for any reason. But, we live and learn, and my dad and me both, as we've gotten older, we're a little more okay with some things that we may not have accepted earlier in life. But I had to learn, and I'm still learning, to not be okay, and to admit when I'm not okay, and to not just initially respond with, I'm okay. Because today, I ran into somebody that I hadn't seen since I went out and wound up in a hospital. And that was the first thing they asked me was, how are you doing? And my initial response was, oh, I'm fine. How are you? And then, I had to backtrack and go, well, actually, I'm not fine. I'm recovering. I'm doing okay. But having some struggles. And, it's just a different way of looking at life now, where there's no need for me to try to put on a tough guy facade. I've been through enough in my life. I've proven how tough I am for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Enough. I'm pushing 60. I don't need to prove how tough I am anymore. And I don't need to cover up symptoms that might be telling someone that I'm dying. So, that's the thing. Stop being okay, you guys who are my age or approaching my age, or who, have personalities that are more like a Gen X than their own. Stop being okay. Stop telling everybody you're okay when you're not, because somebody might need to know that what's going on with you, and because they might be the one trying to give you CPR when your ass falls out at work or something, So it's okay to not be okay, and so that's all I have to say today. Because today I wasn't really okay, and I'm probably not going to be that great for the rest of the day. Still have shit I have to do. Still have some things to take care of when I get home. But I still had to work today. I wasn't going to just quit and walk off. So I took a break when I needed to take a break, and got through it. And I'll be back at it tomorrow. But for today, it's perfectly fine for me to say I was not okay. And it's okay for you too. It's okay to not be okay. So keep that in mind, and I will catch up to all of you later on, I guess. Ciao.